Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We want to chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and first timer on Ron Siegel Radio. Carla Gilkerson is with us. First Team Real Estate, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it used to come to me first, but now we have our team is standing by. I do take calls.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
But not while I'm broadcasting. And again, while I do have a great team, when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Yes, of course, we celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Let's see. Josh, I should have thought of this before. Today's National Rubber Ducky Day. And you're not old enough, Josh, but there was a guy here in Southern California, a DJ back when I was young. And I know, yes, that was the early days of radio. But Rick Dees, right? And that was his theme song, was something about a rubber ducky. He had one song in his whole life, top hit, but it was about a rubber ducky. Today's National Rubber Ducky Day. It's also, for those of us that have beaten anorexia, today is National Peach Melba Day. So if you look at the pictures of Peach Melba, and I did, looks pretty good. I mean, you look at that, it's in one of those old soda fountain glasses. You've got the peaches on the bottom. You've got whipped cream on top of that. Then you've got, I don't know, it looks like strawberries, more whipped cream, and a cherry on top. All we need is a little bit of nuts there. That would just top it off. So Peach Melba, okay, goes back to 1892. It was elegant back then. I don't know about elegant desserts. I don't know. I think about an elegant dessert might be a chocolate souffle with some Grand Marnier in it. I just throw that out there. Let's take a look and see before I have to leave the show and just abandon my post and go get some food. The Dow Jones Industrial Average now up 174 points. S&P 500 down 6. The NASDAQ is down 107. Oil up another 11 cents a barrel. Let's see what the 10-year Treasury down a little bit. Interesting that the 10-year Treasury is down a little bit when PPI came in high. Okay, for those of you that are going to ask the question, what is PPI? Well, that's the Producer Price Index. That's what wholesalers are doing with their pricing. So, we've been talking about inflation running hot. Well, this is a leading indicator to inflation. Why? Well, what are the options that a producer has when they see their costs going up? They only have two choices. One of them is to pass it along. The other one is to absorb it. How long do you think they can absorb 9% cost increases? That doesn't go over too well. Not if they want to stay in business. So we're watching that one. It's going to have an effect on the inflation numbers that come out down the road. I told you last week what the inflation numbers were for last week. Got a mediocre 10-year bond auction yesterday. So that does not have any problem on interest rates, on home interest rates. But, as I've shared with you in the past, every Thursday morning, Freddie Mac does come out with their mortgage market survey. And this is from the early part of the week. So it is current data, but it's about 3 or 4 days old. Are you ready for this one? I mean, they came out with their numbers today. And we're looking at a 30-year fixed rate loan from Freddie Mac. Are you ready? 3.45 was their number today. 3.45 now. Ow! Yeah, you got to pay 7/10 to get it. Now, when I look at that number, last week it was 3.22. So interest rates went up 0.25% since last Thursday. We've been telling you about this. We knew it was coming. We're telling you, according to Chapman University, 3.9 by the end of the year. I think it's probably going to be closer to 3.75. Why? Well, we know a recession is on the horizon. We've told you that already. You know it. It's on the way. So, and it's got to happen. I mean, it's not like it's a Ron Siegel prediction, right? It's just built in because the federal government is not going to be spending that $5 trillion that they spent last year and the year before, right? So if they stop spending all that money, well, that by definition brings down our budget by $5 trillion just there. Cutting the federal spending by over 50%, that's the issue. So we're watching it for you. All you have to do is continue to visit us at Ron Siegel Radio. We'll have all that data for you. What else is going on in the world right now? Look at this one. New poll shows that Donald Trump would beat Joe Biden in a 2024 election if that was held right now. What else is in the news? Biden administration botched withdrawal of Afghanistan. The government. Think about this one. So the Biden administration botches this whole withdrawal. I call it a surrender. And now let's give them $300 million. $300 million. Where does this come from? Oh, yeah, you get to pay for it. 50,000 illegal immigrants disappear into the country after failing to report to court. Did anybody think that they were going to really report to the court?
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
You knew that wouldn't happen. I mean, only in somebody's dreams would that be the case. Let's see. Jen Psaki in the news. I wonder, maybe her poll numbers are lower than the president's. 33% approval rating. I think I might even have him beat. 33%. Think about that. But Jen Psaki dodging criticism of the president's election overhaul speech. Does that surprise anybody? I mean, even his friends didn't like the speech. Trying to bully people, that's a whole different issue. We're watching all of this for you. What else do we have going on in the news today? Schools still having problems. The COVID response there has not been good, so watching out for that one. I don't know. I went to a Ducks game the other night. I don't know what the whole story was, but I've never gone to a game when the I think they call it the Honda Center now. I still call it the Pond, right? But I think it's called the Honda Center nowadays. There was like half the seats were available, and that was going against Pittsburgh. They usually have a pretty good team. I was kind of surprised to see that the numbers were as bad as they were. January 24th, do you have that date on your calendar? IRS. They've come out and said that they expect it's going to take them extra time this year to get the checks out. Why don't we just call it a stimulus check? They seem to be able to get those out. But they say it's going to take them extra time to get your refund check out. January 24th. That is the date that they will start accepting your tax returns. So if you think you've got a refund coming, that just fascinates me when you see stories like this. That they're going to delay sending the checks back. We're America. Why isn't it automated? Can you figure that? Now I'm going to tell you this one. This is how our automation works, and I get personal here, right? So I've been married for a very, very long time. My wife puts up with me. So when they came out with this wonderful automation, and we go to file a joint tax return, which we have done for decades, my accountant goes to file it, and it's rejected. I go, why did they reject my tax return? I've been filing taxes for decades. So he tries my wife's maiden name. and they accept it. Now, she's been paid. She's got a new Social Security card since the 80s. I know that's before some people were born, right? New Social Security card with a married name. She changed her name legally. She's been paying taxes legally. We've been filing tax returns jointly. But now, all of a sudden, if I want to get my tax returns accepted, do I want to get my tax returns accepted? I don't know. If I want to get them accepted, I have to put her maiden name on there. You got to love it. I just watch some of these things, trying to figure out what's going on. The most technological country in the world. And we've got an IRS that can't figure this out. I went to file my son's tax returns for him. If you know my story, you understand why I file my son's tax returns for him. They're rejected. Why do they reject his tax return? I don't know. They said that the income doesn't match the prior year. I don't get it. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we got a great broadcast lined up for you. We are going to, I just lost my notes on what we're going to talk about today. But hey, we're going to talk about it anyway. Let's see. I know we've got a real-time real estate segment that we're going to chat about. We're going to chat, well, you know something? I don't think my fingers are working today. What's going to happen with home prices this year? We'll talk about that. PSLF is getting big changes. Could you qualify for forgiveness now? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Nikki is standing by to help you out with all that. You're blocking your face. But that's your choice. You can do
my
as you wish.
goodness.
We want to be able to see you.
Gosh, yes.
I mean, nobody wants to see me. You know, they're here to see you, Carla. Hey, the Mortgage Minute brought to you again by our friends at Geneva Financial. Let's I got to figure out where the heck my notes are for the markets. What the heck? Do we want to talk about the markets, Josh? Dow Jones up 112 points. The NASDAQ is down 135 points. That's not pleasant. Let's look and see the S&P 500 down 179. The 10-year Treasury flat. Mortgage-backed securities up 2 basis points. Right? We don't want to. That's got not bad stuff right there. Why is that happening? Well, we got the initial jobless claims. Those came out this morning. Individuals filing unemployment benefits for the very first time reported at 230,000 claims for the week. This represents an increase of 23,000 from the previous revised report of 207,000. We've got the producer price index. I already told you about that. I already told you about the mortgage rate. God, I've been telling you all this stuff before we even get to the section here. So we've got that inflation data, and we've got continuing jobless claims. Measures individuals who continue to receive benefits fell 194,000 to 1.56 million. Continuing claims are now back at pre-pandemic levels. Told you about the 10-year auction. I got it all in there, I think, already. So maybe we'll make up a little time because I talked too much in the last segment. That's the Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Nikki is standing by to take your calls. Real estate. We have fun talking real estate, although real estate is frustrating right now. I get a lot of people that are frustrated by real estate, and they place blame in all the wrong places. My opinion, I'm just sharing my opinion. Carla Gilkerson is here. First Team Real Estate. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here's my thesis.
Okay.
Is realtors work really hard at finding people properties. And the fact that in the last 2 years, a lot of buyers have gotten really frustrated because they go out there and they make offers and the offers don't get accepted. And they say, well, it's not the buyer's fault. So where are they going to place the blame? They're not going to look in the mirror and place the blame.
Right. They do tend to, and it's a normal thing. You want to blame somebody, but if you're able to demonstrate how you've really done your best in advocating for your client, tightening up the terms, and if that's their price, you've got to submit it and work for them. And so I've had great success in getting my clients' offers accepted.
Nice.
It does take, sometimes it takes a couple, but every client I've worked with is in their home, closed escrow, and so happy. It was a great Christmas. They all texted me just like, we are so happy.
Go back to that part right there, because that's the beauty of, I've said many times, leading a lending team. One of the best things ever is, helping a family get their first home.
Yes.
Realtors, you guys got it made.
Oh,
because you're the ones that get to hand them the keys.
Life-affirming career. I feel that it is a perfectly suited job, perfectly to a C, because I'm C for Carla, for me, because of my skill set having been licensed since 1994. I have a lot of old school techniques that have been lost over the years.
At 2 years old, apparently.
Yeah.
1994, as you say, you've seen some interesting markets.
Yes, I have. It's foreclosures, REOs, and now here we are in this market, but interest rates have never been this low. So their buying power.
So do you remember what the interest rates were when you started?
I mean, my first place was, I want to say 12% interest. So yeah, that's what I paid on my first mortgage. But yeah.
I got 18, and I was happy to get it.
And sold the home 2 years later and made more money on that little place than my husband made on his house. So we combined it and bought a home in Villa Park. But
nice.
Yeah. And now I wish I'd have kept it because of leasing opportunities.
Leasing it out, all this.
But
let's think about this part of it though, just for fun.
Yeah.
So you helped families last year and the year before buy new homes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you taken a look at what the values have done of those homes?
I have one case, a wonderful client of mine who I actually checked him into a Villa Park High School dance in 2014, bought from me last year, youngest client in Floral Park. And he got the home for $785,000. It is now worth $1.2 million with all of the
in 1 year.
With all the, and he's done improvements, and he's one of my trusted vendors, Grew It Tree, and I love that family, and they're like part of my
$785.
Yeah, in 1 year.
$215, $415,000.
Yes.
Wow, in a year.
Yep. Another one in your
Belinda. Just throw this out there because I don't know who it is. Maybe they'll listen.
Yeah.
Go get that refinance. Take as much money out of that property as you can, and have Carla find you an investment property. Exactly. Just throwing that out.
Exactly.
And when you think about that, because at 1.2, you can get $1 million loan, or you can just go, being that you're in Orange County, just go to the lending limit, right?
Yep.
And take out a couple $100,000,
right?
And go buy 1 or 2 rental properties
in areas where you can build an ADU, auxiliary dwelling unit, and you can have 2 on a lot and rent out 2 places.
Think about, I love doing this math, Carla, just because I'm a math nerd.
Yeah.
Maybe just a nerd.
No.
But, you look at that and you say, if I got $500,000, if I could buy two $500,000 properties, even if they're condos, 20% down on each of those.
Yep.
And now I'm going to submit we're not going to have that kind of appreciation. Will we or won't we? I don't know. But I do know for a fact. Here's the part that I can factually say because we've got the data to back it up. So over the last 62 years in Orange County, California, the appreciation, are you ready for this one? Appreciation over 62 years is 5.3%. So if you take each of those properties, you put $100,000 down on each one of them, and they each appreciate at the historic average of 5. Can I just say 5% so it's easy?
Yes, please.
$25,000 a year.
Yes.
Appreciation.
And that's low.
and somebody else is going to make the mortgage payment. Right? Because you're going to rent it out or lease it out.
Yeah. And you can, write off all the improvements
and
you do.
You checked him into a dance at what year?
In 2014. I remember because I know his name. And
I'm just guessing that means he's probably around 25 to 28 years old. Don't know.
Even younger, I think.
Okay.
He's like 23.
Now, I don't know about you, but could you imagine having $2.2 million of real estate appreciating at 5.5% a year? Right, you got another 110. Is he married?
He's going to be soon.
Congratulations.
Real estate is a life-changing
That's $110,000 a year added to their household net worth.
Yes.
Not counted what he's working, what she's doing, all the other things. And just fascinating. I love stories like this.
I do too. It's so heartwarming.
You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, more with Carla Gilkerson. We're going to continue that conversation. What's going to happen with home prices this year? PSLF. I wonder what that even means. Is getting big changes. Could you qualify for forgiveness now? We'll talk about it. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I don't know if I should say this or not, Josh, but English, please. Hey, we love having an interactive radio program. I know if you're listening to us live on KABC, not KABC, KMET, ABC News and Talk, AM 1490, our affiliate at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. You're not seeing the messages that are going across on some of the comments. But hey, we appreciate the messages. We appreciate comments. If they're in English, I can actually understand them. I understand a little bit of English. Some of the other languages I'm a little tougher on. Go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, and that'll allow you to get authorized to put a message in there, and we can actually see who you are, what you're saying. And I do look at those messages during the broadcast. I do respond to many of them if it's something that is pertinent to the program that we're doing that day. We'll even talk about it. I'll give my opinion. I'll ask our guests their opinion on them. And sometimes we don't get to them. But like I say, today we've got a foreign language. So sorry, I don't understand. What's going to happen with home prices? That's the real-time real estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Go to rsrhomedigest.com, rsrhomedigest.com. Get one email every month that tells you precisely what the market's doing in your area. It's going to tell you what the county recorder knows about your property. It's going to tell you, did your property go up in value, which it has been recently? All you have to do is register right there, one email every single. And you know how much that is? It's really expensive. It's compliments of Ron Siegel Radio. Costs you absolutely nothing. What's going to happen with home prices? I already said that. After almost 2 years of double-digit increases, many experts thought home price appreciation would decelerate or happen at a slower pace in the last quarter of 2021. However, the latest Home Price Insights report from CoreLogic indicates while prices may have plateaued, appreciation has definitely not slowed. Now, if you're watching us again on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, Josh just put up the chart that shows year-over-year appreciation throughout 2021. Yeah, we don't know. December has not been released yet, so we have all the way through November. You're looking at 18.1%. That's a national number. Graph shows appreciation remains steady at around that 18% over the last 5 months. In addition, the latest S&P Case-Shiller Price Index and the FHFA Price Index show a slight deceleration from the same time last year. It's just not at the level that was expected. However, they also both indicate there's continued strong price growth throughout the country. FHFA reports all 9 regions of the country still experienced double-digit appreciation. The Case-Shiller 20-City Index reveals all 20 metros had double-digit appreciation. Why haven't we seen the deeper deceleration many expected? Experts have projected the supply of housing inventory would increase in the last half of 2021. The buyer demand would decrease, as it historically does later in the year. Since all pricing is subject to supply and demand, it seemed that appreciation would wane under those conditions. But buyer demand, however, did not slow as much as expected, and the number of listings available for sale dropped instead of improved. We got another graph for you, and it shows, it's from Realtor.com, to show the number of available listings for sale each month, including the decline in listings at the end of the year. Pretty staggering what's going on here. Here are 3 reasons why the number of active listings did not increase as expected. Number 1, there hasn't been a surge of foreclosures as the forbearance program comes to an end. Number 2, new construction slowed considerably because of supply chain challenges. Number 3, many believed more sellers would put their house on the market once the concerns about the pandemic began to ease. However, those concerned have not yet disappeared. A recent article published by, I don't even know who this one is. Before the Omicron variant of COVID-19 appeared on the scene, the 2021 housing market was rebounding healthily from previous waves of the pandemic and turned downright bullish as the end of the year approached. And then the new Omicron strain hit in November, followed by a December dip in new listings. Was this sudden drop due to Omicron or just the typical holiday season? Don't know. No one knows. Bottom line, home price appreciation might slow. It's not going to depreciate. It's not going to go down, but it might decelerate. Think about this. If you were going 85 on the freeway, and you should not be, and you see a police officer on the side of the road, what are you going to do? You're not going to go backwards. You might slow down to 65 like you're supposed to, right? That's kind of the same thing as the way appreciation is going. It's been going at 18%, not healthy. I know you might like it, but it's not healthy, right? That which can go up at 18% can go down at 18%. But if you have questions, give me a call, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. We've got a game plan for you. I'll put you in touch with great real estate professionals anywhere in the sound of my voice, right? We've got one in the studio with me right now. Carla Gilkerson is with us, First Team Real Estate.
That's
Chat.
me.
What areas do you work in, Carla?
Yorba Linda, Irvine, Anaheim Hills, Orange, everywhere. I've worked and sold homes
Carla worldwide.
I like every county: Ventura, Big Bear, Laguna Beach.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait a second, Carla. I'm just going to harass you a little bit. The County of Laguna Beach. I haven't seen
No,
that one.
I was saying
I'm just kidding with you.
Ventura,
We have
LA,
fun.
Orange, yeah.
We have fun on Ron Siegel
San
Radio.
Bernardino.
We don't do no rocket science in here, right? So
I mean, I have a son who's a rocket scientist, but okay.
I can't even spell rocket scientist. When they asked me, I went to Chapman College. It was a college back then.
Yeah.
And they said, "What do you have to take science. We can give you a real science or a Mickey Mouse science." I said, "Disney all the way." I think I have the geology of national parks.
I have a degree in business marketing, and I wanted to get a communications degree. And my husband or my dad said, "Dear,
now, wait a second.
Dear, we know you can communicate, Carla."
Carla, I think you can communicate. I don't know that you might be able to show them how to do that.
Really,
I think
don't do it. Yeah, so I have a degree in marketing, so that's really been effective too in my career.
So here we are. We're chatting with Carla Gilkerson. We just showed how one of her clients from last year, we just demonstrated in the last segment. We're not going to go over it again. Could gain $110,000 potentially net worth annually, just because of having worked with Carla last year.
Yep.
Think about that. Now that's exciting to me.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Right? I mean, I talk about retirement.
I'm like a proud mom. I call myself the millennial mom and realtor for the millennials, because I dote on them and take care of them and I explain everything. Like the contract is all DocuSign. I actually go through it with them, and wet signature. Imagine a wet signature.
That's so it's kind of funny that you say that, because every month, we bring in a young lady to help us, and not that it's men or women. I'm not getting biased here.
No.
It's usually it's the first Monday after the 10th of the month. So this happens to be, we're doing it Tuesday because of Martin Luther King Day, but we actually go through a whole marketing report, a monthly market report. Our friends over at Keeping Current Matters sends it to us.
Yes.
And we get the old man's view and the millennial view.
Yes.
Because there's a world of difference there.
They think differently. They're clever too. They'll buy junk and rent it out, and or they'll a la carte properties and build a room.
What does that mean, a la carte properties?
Like they'll live in one room and rent out the rest. So they're clever. They are clever, and I respect them.
I heard my son say something like, "Josh, you might know this one, couch surfing. Is that the term?" Yeah, couch surfing. Yeah. So you just go from one friend to another and living on their couch.
Right. There's that. But yeah, they will check out you on Instagram, and I'm legit cool.
Okay, well, at least there's one of us in the room that's legit cool. I'm old, and I don't know if I'm cool or not. But so how many family? I mean, since good stock of families that you've helped.
And oh my goodness, that bought a home for $100,000 in Long Beach is worth now, $700,000. Like, it's very exciting and it's wonderful. I'm on their Christmas card list. They've become part of my family. And once you're a client of mine, you get all the benefits of being a client of mine.
What are the benefits? Well, I might have to be a benefit. Maybe I have to be a client. I don't know.
You do. You have to be a client. But once they close escrow, it's not over at the close of escrow. Our relationship continues. And
wait, back up.
Yeah.
The relationship is not over?
Not over.
It's not transactional?
No, not with me. I still check in. They're a part of I do things. It's pretty awesome.
Of your tribe?
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's pretty awesome to be my client. I think they would all attest to that and agree. So
that's exciting, right? I mean, because there is so much of that, one and done, or the mentality. There's what I call I don't know, in lending, I refer to them as headset lenders, right? So all they're doing is they want to talk to you and get you the loan and be gone.
Send it. I call it send it. Yeah. They just send it or call it in, and I explain the contract, do the most. I am at every inspection, all the appraisal. We do all everything.
We talk about this all the time, Carla. Is you can go online and find the pictures of properties. Is there a place online that they're going to go and see the contract? We're going to chat about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. What are you paying a realtor for? I want to chat about that with Carla because I've got my thoughts. I want to get her thoughts as well. PSLF is getting big changes Could you qualify for forgiveness now? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by MySoCalLender.com. MySoCalLender.com. If you've got questions about your credit, a lot of people do, give a call, 800-306-1990. We'll put you in touch with the right people. PSLF is getting big changes. Could you qualify for forgiveness now? When the Public Service Loan Forgiveness, PSLF program launched in 2007, it promised to provide tax-free forgiveness in as little as 10 years. That would be 120 for those of you that are keeping score. Qualifying payments to student loan borrowers who work for nonprofit or government employers. Unfortunately, the program structure has made it difficult for qualified employees to have their loans forgiven. Is that surprise anybody?
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Forgiveness applications from those who have participated in the PSLF have been rejected at a dismal rate of 98%. Ow! Yeah, that's pathetic. The core problem is that only certain loans and repayment plans are eligible for PSLF. So when borrowers apply for forgiveness, they may find that few or none of their payments have counted, even if they've worked for a qualifying employer for 10 plus years. Due to the COVID-19 national emergency, the Education Department has extra flexibility to waive certain student loan rules. And in October 2021, it announced that it had decided to take advantage of these special flexibilities to temporarily waive certain PSLF restrictions through October 31st, 2022. The Education Department estimates that hundreds of thousands of borrowers will benefit from these temporary waivers. Here's what you need to know about the PSLF changes and what you'll need to do to take advantage of them. All past payments made on direct loans will now automatically count for PSLF. One of the most common complaints of PSLF program is that there are a variety of ways that payments made on qualifying direct loans while working for qualifying employer could be considered non-qualifying payments. How could that be? One example would be if the payment was made while you were on an ineligible repayment plan. Only payments made while on an income-driven repayment plan or the 10-year standard repayment plan are counted. Payments made on any other plan, such as extended repayment or graduated repayment, did not qualify. Even if you're on an eligible repayment plan, there are times that your payments may not have counted towards the 120 qualifying payments you need to receive forgiveness. Got a whole long report here. I don't want to go into the whole thing, but if you want it, give me a call at 800-306-1990. But suffice to say, Josh and I are working diligently with a company that does have some programs or some services, and it's not outrageously expensive to help you get rid of those student loans, maybe cut them back, maybe get them down to nothing, or to qualify for these forgiveness programs. But again, all you have to do is give us a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Just ask about the program. You can send an email. I know young people, you don't send emails. I'm old. I don't even do Twitter. RJ at RonSiegelRadio.com, RJ at RonSiegelRadio.com. Continue our conversation. Carla Gilkerson is with us, First Team Real Estate, North Orange County area, but she goes all over.
Oh, yeah.
But we were talking before the break, and I made the comment, and it's my belief, that you don't need a real estate agent to see pictures of a property. That's online. What you do need a real estate professional for is from the time you make a decision that this is the property you like until you close on that property, that's when you can't do without a real estate agent. Think about this. You're buying a house, maybe it's your starter home at $600,000, and I don't know what your budget is. And you say, okay, I like this house. I saw it online. I saw all the pictures. I'm going to go to that super secret website, google.com, and see if there's a purchase contract on there. You will probably find one. You can also find out how to do knee surgery. It's on there also. Do you want to do knee surgery on yourself? I need knee surgery. I need it on both knees. I could go on that Google. And I did see a doctor the other day that did stay awake for his own surgery and directed it. But that was an interesting story. And it was something that was needed because he was the only one that knew how to do this type of surgery. But the real estate contract, am I right in saying
why would you when the buyer's agent is compensated for
right,
from the
let
seller?
me ask you this question.
Yes.
Did the contract just change recently?
It did. It did.
Right? And you probably went to classes and studied that new contract.
Oh, I know all about the contract.
Right?
Yep.
So you're spending $600,000, $700,000, $400,000, $200,000, $1 million. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
you're gonna leave it to yourself to figure it out. What do they say about a lawyer that represents himself?
Bad idea.
He's got a fool for a client.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, and not all agents are created equally.
There you go.
You know,
some don't even study the contract. I've talked to a lot of brokers, and they say I got a contract from agent X, and he filled it out completely wrong.
And it's messy and ill prepared and not complete.
So you have to really know it well if you're going to go through and explain it to. You said earlier in the program that you go through and explain it to people.
Right. And wet signatures. And when I deliver the offer, often I do that in person. And so they're advocating for my client. I'm working really hard to show their earnestness and sincerity.
So I used to say that with the team that we have at Geneva Financial, that the agents can check box J4 on page 2, I think it is. I haven't looked at the new contracts. I can't say that anymore, right? You don't need any no loan contingencies. But the beauty of it is if the property is listed, and if the property is if the agents are following normal protocol, what does the buyer have to pay you to do to represent them?
There is no out-of-pocket expense to the buyer. The seller pays our commission.
Right?
Yeah.
So
great.
So
the seller's paying for me, so put me to work.
Now, what is it? What is that? Is it going to cost me more to have you represent me than if I have the seller's agent represent me?
Well, when you have the seller's agent represent you, you're inheriting an agent through the property, and they're not your advocate.
Who are they representing?
The seller. Yeah, like the home I had, I sold in Laguna was $2.7 million, 1,200 square feet.
Wow, 1,200 square feet.
We came in, and it was actually 1168, not 1,200 square feet, 1168. So having your own agent chunk down the price to 2.5, because that was a misrepresentation. Now, if the listing, he's not going to disclose that. He's not going to point that out. It's going to be 2.7. So I saved them $200,000 on a home.
Wait, you saved them 10%?
Yes.
Because you were doing your job.
I did my job, and I didn't let up. Boy, those guys are so nice until they're not.
Right. Yeah, when they think that they've got somebody that's ignorant on the other side. No, we're gonna be real nice guys until we find, or gals. I don't want to get.
It's
there,
fine.
Right, but 10% is a lot of money.
Yes.
And I don't care whether it's a $2 million house or a $200,000 house.
Right.
Probably more meaningful to the guy buying the $200,000 house than the guy buying the $2.5 million house.
Hey, they appreciate, people want to know the truth. Just tell us the truth. But we have, as an agent, buyer's agent especially, I'm like a detective on the home because not everything is disclosed.
So you didn't bring the detective hat. Where's your Sherlock Holmes? That's the one.
Yeah, like your home inspector. So I have, like I said, I have my vendors that I like, use, and trust, and that's part of my arsenal.
That's something that's interesting that you say that, because we always are promoting on Ron Siegel Radio the household board of directors. You can even steal that if you want to.
Okay.
Right? Household board. Who's on your household board of directors? Right? So you've got to have your realtor and lender and tax person, trust attorney. Hopefully you don't need a family attorney, but if you do, we can recommend one to you.
Yep.
Right? Insurance person.
Arborist. I mean, there's so many inspections you can get, lead,
Right.
mold, once you're going to escrow. So that is time you need to spend doing inspections on the home. If you've waived a little bit of your time frame, you only have like 8 or 10 days to do those inspections. So you've got to get in there and do them.
You better know who you're going to be using before you get on board to using them.
Oh yeah.
That's the bottom line right there. So the key thing there is, again, having that household board of directors.
Yep.
Right. And I love that the way you put that, though, because you're not looking to be the temp.
No.
Right.
No.
You're on that board of directors for life.
I am there, and I'm present at the everything. Like I don't go on
even
vacation.
till afterward.
Even till afterward. That's the best part, because I hear about their lives and the babies getting born and how they're doing. It's just wonderful. Graduation.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. I don't usually do that, but I'm going to put you on the spot anyway. How many have you gotten to the point? Maybe you're not old enough. I mean, I'm old, but where you've done multi-generations.
It's awesome. It's
Isn't that
really
fun?
special. It is, because they're
right. You help mom
kids.
and dad buy a house,
Yeah.
and they trust you enough to say, you know something, I want you to help Johnny or Sally buy their house,
or they buy their mom a house.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. No,
That's
I
fun.
absolutely love it.
It's fun watching the families grow.
And I'm
No.
relatable to the kids still, and the
So
and the
that's 'cause
parents.
you're not old. I'm old. I mean, that's. But you think about that family that you talked about in our B block today, right? There's gonna be a marriage, I guess is what you were saying.
Yeah.
So then you're gonna eventually, hopefully, you'll be part of the
Right.
growth of that family,
Mhm.
however they decide they want to grow it.
Yep. I was invited to
Right.
a baby shower for another client in Irvine, and they're outgrown their property and are looking to get into something bigger.
And I
So,
bet I could guess. You told them keep the property and buy a new one.
yeah, if they
Right?
could.
I mean, how many of if you can, obviously.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
How many? But right now, most people can.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about real estate appreciating at 30% over the last 2
Right.
years,
And they're qualifying. They make good money. They're
Right.
engineers and doctors. And so these millennials, I'm so impressed, because they just pick a lane, stay in it, and just forward motion, man. So
and think about that. I mean, you bought your first house, you said, I think 1994.
I did.
Okay, so no, you got your license.
I did
already.
buy a, that's
Same,
good. I
okay.
did. After I got my license, I bought a place in
Okay.
Long Beach.
Do you still have it?
No, we had to sell it to buy the home
Buy
in
the
Villa
next
Park.
one,
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
And the majority of us that are my age, your age, we always look back and, boy, if I could have afforded to save it, to
Mhm.
save that property.
Mhm.
Well, this family that you just helped, now you got one of two ways that I recommend people going with something like that.
Okay.
So I look at that and I say, okay, they've got a $1.2 million property now, and they paid, said 7 something or
85. Yeah.
785. They probably put something down.
Yes.
I'm guessing. Okay, let's just throw it out there. I don't care what the real number is. Let's just say that they have a $700,000 loan. Okay, go and refinance that. Take everything that you can out of that property. So let's say you can pull $300,000 out of that property. Now go and buy yourself a $1.5 million home and keep that other property and rent it out. Now, my
Mhm.
guess, I don't know. I'm just a lender guy, but the property probably get $4,000 a month in rent.
Yes. The another client who bought a Toll Brothers home in Yorba Linda leased out their home in Bryant Ranch, Yorba Linda. We had competing bids on the lease. So yes, you can rent it out and it'll go for more.
Okay, so and I don't know their situation, so I can't tell you what rates are and all that stuff. But I'm going to guess you're looking at probably right around $4,500 a month in a new mortgage. So
Absolutely.
now you've got $2.7 million worth of property that's appreciating at 5% a year. That's $1.3 million.
Hmm.
And can you find somebody a nice property for $1.5 million?
Yes.
Okay.
And they have passive income now. It's like, producing more. And so
Now you do that again in 5 years.
Right.
right? You do that
Melba.
every 5 years.
Yes.
By the time these people are 45 years old,
Mhm.
they got more than enough money to retire
Mhm.
and live very, very comfortably. Now, if
Yeah.
they don't want to retire, they don't have to.
Yeah.
Right. But now they've got their retirement is secure at age
Mhm.
45 for the next 40 years.
Right. And your payment is the same and you have peace of mind and you just know your future is safe. Like there is nothing like peace of mind. That there's that.
Think of that concept.
Yeah.
I mean, I always love talking about, and Josh, we do this game plan all the time with people. And, you know, when we start seeing people implement it,
Yeah.
it's kind of the joy that I get out of getting up every morning real early to do radio.
Absolutely.
Right. We're just educating here. We're not, you know, I've never sold a piece of property in my life. I've got a real estate license, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you real quick. I am not qualified. I'm one of those 20. If you remember yesterday, I think it was yesterday, the day before, we had an agent in here telling us that there's probably 25,000 licensed real estate people in Orange County, California.
Throw a rock and you'll
Right.
get one. They're
And
everywhere.
I told you that we've got a list that we work off of that's about 8,500 of the people doing work.
Mhm.
That's for the whole, you know, 2/3 of all the licensees in California, right? And if I asked you what's on line 3 of the contract, you may know that. I have no clue,
Yes.
right?
It's-
I mean, probably
it's-
price or something like
yeah,
that. whatever.
exactly. But I was going to say, you know, at Harvard, they teach the kids the same way. They teach all the students the same way, but all the students don't come out the same. So it's like real estate. You've got to find an agent who is producing, is not a one-off. Look at their stats, interview them, text them. Are they responsive? Are they available? Are they happy to show you how you can move the needle in different neighborhoods?
That's a key thing right now, especially in, you know, there's certain markets that, you know, 2010, if you qualified for a loan back then,
Mm-hmm.
you know, agents could get your offer accepted really easily,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because there was so many properties on the market. That's not the case now. You need an expert
You do.
to help you get that property,
And
to secure the property.
Exactly. And the listing agent isn't just looking at your offer, they're also looking at the agent presenting it. And they want to see somebody who is working, is closing escrows on time, you know, an
And they're going
active
back to,
agent.
even if you don't look at the stats, the listing agent is looking at those.
Oh, they
stats.
want to know. Yeah. They're checking
wanna-
you out.
They want to know, with all due respect, many times,
Hmm.
what they want to know is who's protecting their commission, right?
Is she going to close this? Is she going to be good
Is
to
the
work
family
with?
going to get to the finish line?
Hmm.
That's the bottom line. And as always, really appreciate you coming in
Thank you
here.
for having me.
As always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Happy day.
Boss just pushed me over the limit. I'd like to call him something. I think I'll just call it a day.